Hey guys, this is Michael Miller. You're listening to Heavy Mental Breakdown. We're going to have a talk today about recovery and drums and touring and whatever else comes up. Thanks for joining.
All the fun stuff, we'll say. All the fun
Yes,
stuff, Mr. Miller. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I
I hope so.
appreciate your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're out there on the West Coast, and I
hmm
asked you if you went to Halloween, if you were on your way to Halloween Town, because I was about to be jealous because I miss Halloween Town.
hmm Yep,
Fun store,
it's
man.
there,
Fun
and I
store.
do go there from time to time. It's a fun store. There's all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff like that in Burbank.
I should probably hit them up and let them know that I talk about them. I talk about them all the time on this podcast.
What do you get there? What do you do there?
I don't know. I don't do anything there. I just walk.
Just
I just walk around and look at the stuff.
yeah,
But I don't know. I just always just love going there. And whenever
yeah.
people tell me they're in Burbank, it's just a joke. I'm
hmm
like, oh, you're headed to Halloween Town. I see.
hmm
But yeah, I end up talking about it all the time. I got to hit them up
Yeah,
anyway.
and at that time of the year, there are other stores now opening. The big empty retail stores in the strip malls are all filling up with Halloween stuff
Oh yeah, spirits
because
starting to pop up.
starting to pop up, and soon people will be having those decorations in their front yard where you're walking down the street and some
Yeah.
mechanical device snaps at you. It's,
Well, you
cool
know
stuff.
about all the animatronic devices and all the Halloween prop stuff. Because for those who don't know what you do, Mr. Miller, what's a little bit of a background on what you're doing?
Well, currently, my main job is with Alice Cooper. I'm a drum tech, so drums. I've been with Alice. This is 16 years. Hard to believe, but
Hmm.
16 years. And yeah, Alice is a Halloween show, a year-round Halloween show. Kind of a lot of
Yeah.
props, moving parts, mechanical things that walk around on stage, and antics. It's a fun show. It's a theatrical
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Lighting is a very big part of it. The whole crew is pretty much in the show. Everybody doubles as something in the show to assist, and it's a really fun camp. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be there if it wasn't. It's been my home for a long time. So, we work a lot. So
Hmm.
it's a majority of the year, and in between that, I get lucky and fill in the gaps with other bands. And um, last week, I had the privilege of stepping into the Megadeth camp for a minute. My
Oh,
friend,
cool.
my friend is the drum tech there, and he had to step away, and he asked me to cover. And it's so cool. I love going into other camps. Sometimes they work so differently, and you get to meet other people. And I like the adventure. I like the challenge. I like getting my ass kicked, which is really what it was. It was,
Sure.
nonstop, thrown into the fire, figure it out, and go. But
Yeah.
it was great. I had a really good time. So
Yeah. A lot of
uh,
people thrive off of that.
I do
Yeah.
change, and I love fear. Anything
Yeah.
that
Oh, there you
invokes
go.
that fear in your
Mm.
soul that scares you, like that is the best feeling you can get.
Where does
And
that come from? Did you start to get that? Like, when did you start to realize you're just like, oh, I can use this and I can use it as a positive thing and
Mhm.
move forward with that? How long? Yeah, when did you start to realize that? Not a lot of people
Yeah,
can realize that, Michael. It's funny. Not a lot of people can separate that.
I'm a weird one in a couple ways. One is that I love change and moving locations, changing my surroundings.
Mm.
Like I thrive on that. I'm not
I love
somebody
that
that
too.
I have a fear of being settled down and
Mm.
getting stagnant and
Yeah.
not, not continuing to grow. And so change has always brought about positive things to me, even if it's, moving in the neighborhood. You got new neighbors, new people, new patterns in
Yeah.
life, and you're going to find new opportunities. But I kind of thrive on change. And so the fear tells me I'm alive, and it tells me something good is happening and I'm challenging myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fear you would get if you were speaking in front of a large group of people, maybe, you're just terrified going into it. I love that shit. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, and that's why you've been doing this for, well, with Alice for 16 years, but how long
mhm.
just in general have you been doing it?
I started working for a band in 1986 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I grew up in the DC area. And music, was a part of my life from day one. My family, I was exposed to a lot, but I just gravitated more so than the other people. I was really into a wide variety of music too, not any one thing. Rock, metal, easy listening, disco
Yeah.
at the time, funk,
You say
and
1996, right?
86,
Oh, 80. Oh, 86. So you're coming up on like your 40-year anniversary. This
something
is
like
your
that.
40-year anniversary. Congratulations.
Yeah, so when I left, I was living we lived in suburbs around Washington D.C., and at the time living in a smaller town on the Chesapeake Bay. I was afraid of being patterned into. I was terrified of a small town. I just had to be. I knew what the things I want to do in life were going to be found in a big town, being exposed to having all like living in New York or L.A. or somewhere where all of these things are at your disposal for
Right.
what you want to do. Small town scared me. So my friend picked me up. We drove to Fort Lauderdale in '86. No money in our pockets. We just left. And so I started hanging out. There was a big nightclub there on the beach called Summers on the Beach. National acts played there. Everybody played there. It was training camp for me. So I would sit and watch bands load in and out. Bands start helping them. And then I got to
Mhm.
know a few that were regulars. It was a circuit. So these bands that came back, now they knew me. And I made,
Yeah.
my first dollar. And I realized, I was like, wow, you can get paid. So I got friendly with a band there, and another guy that was there with me, my best friend to this day. We both started working for this incredible band in Fort Lauderdale that was very popular and had a record deal, and we were there through the recording of this record and all completely insane sort of touring schedule and gigs. And right from there, we both started touring with other national acts. And my next band was Pat Travers' band. We toured all over the U.S. and Canada
Yeah.
extensively. It was training camp. It was hard. It was drug infused years in Miami at the time. You can only imagine like what club circuits and things
Sure.
were like
For
at that
sure.
time. And I was born into the world with the disease of addiction. I had it from the symptoms from the earliest memory of being a kid. It runs in my family.
Mine
Some
too.
of them, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that way. Yeah. So mostly on my dad's side of the family, and
Mine
some of them
too.
got sober.
Yeah.
Some of them got sober, and some of them didn't. And
Yeah.
so I had a lot of ADD and learning, sort of disabilities as a kid. I hated school,
Mm.
so did not have a good relationship with my parents. And the neighborhood across the street from the neighborhood we were living in, they were doing drugs, and I hung out over there, got involved and drank, and it was alcohol and weed, but cocaine, was a mainstay in many of the years. I think my first like little overdose thing, I was 15 or something. I think I went in the
Mm.
hospital once
Young.
at at somewhere right around then. I was in a treatment facility for a while, and the first meeting that I went to on my own to try and get sober after that would have been like 87, 88 in Florida. I remember walking into a 12-step meeting and getting that embrace. Everybody introduced themselves to me, passed around a meeting list, and handed me this list. And here are all these numbers and friends. And that was where I was like, fuck, okay, there is something there if you want
Mm.
help.
Yeah.
But I didn't get around again until in '95, the big surrender, and I got sober then and
Mm.
sober for a long time. And then I have weaved in and out of it over the years.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, as of
you know,
today, I was just looking at it. Within my first year, I'm counting the days, but I think after the first year I won't. But as of today, I was 176 days sober. So I'm on that
what? Yeah,
journey
dude.
right now. I'm on the
Congratulations,
journey.
man.
Thank you.
Good,
And just
good.
like you were saying, it ran in the family, and I kind of
Hmm.
used that as an excuse.
Hmm.
At one point, I'm like, well, nothing I can do about it. It runs in my family.
Yeah,
Might as well.
right.
So it's taken a lot of courage and a lot of
Hmm.
strength, a lot of mental strength to get through that. So I get it, man. It's a struggle for sure.
Everybody's experience is different.
Yeah.
We have similar experiences as addicts or alcoholics, and similar in recovery. But everyone's situation is different. What brought you? What you consider your bottom, and what pushed? Where was your break? Where did you decide? Everybody's different, and
Yeah,
it's a tough fucking uh, disease.
it is. And
Um,
I'm bipolar as well. So you
mm,
mix that with alcohol,
yeah,
it's a different kind of beast, my friend. Oof.
yeah, yeah.
Ugh. And that was the main reason that I knew I needed to stop drinking
Hmm.
is when I because I didn't even know I had bipolar. And so it was just like a mix of a bunch of different things all at once. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, okay. This
Right.
makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. It took me
So,
30, it took me, yeah, over 30 years to finally try to figure my mind out.
oh yeah, I mean, some people never do.
Yeah.
But if you're in New York, there in the area that you're in, my guess is you have a great support group, loads of meetings, lots of options, and a very strong area there. You're lucky.
You know, they're not the most. And a
Really?
lot of
Yeah,
them, there's definitely a couple in person, but a lot of them are virtual now.
this is
At least
true.
for the ones that I've been seeing out here in Brooklyn, New York. And
Mm.
I don't know, I tried some of the virtual ones. I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's
Yeah.
like no like human interaction during this thing that we're all struggling with. It's tough.
Well, you know where I think about that, it's like, yeah, that came around in the pandemic. Everything went, a lot of things went virtual, and even here in
Yeah.
LA, a lot of meetings are virtual. There was one I hadn't been to in a long time. I wanted to hop into last Friday, and it was virtual now. It doesn't even exist. So
Mhm.
I don't mind the virtual ones. And in the '90s, when I first got sober, we all had speaker tapes. Everyone passed around speaker tapes, and you had them in your car. And if you went on trips, like yeah, everyone had speaker tapes, and they were great. You look, and they're still, exist. So I kind of like got used to. So the Zoom meetings, I don't mind them at all. To me, it's better than speaker tape. They're interactive. Some you are called on the Zoom call to share. It's very interactive, and some are just speaker meetings. You tune in and see
Yeah.
a great speaker or something.
It's
But
almost
is
like a
it?
therapist. You got to find the right one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got
But
to
there's
go.
so many of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Thousands online. I mean, you can go to 24/7 anywhere in the world. You can jump into a meeting online.
Mm,
But yeah, being in New York, I would think you still have, compared to being in a small town somewhere in America that has four meetings and you kind of
sure.
maybe a different, you probably have a lot more to hook up
Yeah.
there.
Well, I was kind of more talking about like a bipolar group.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
yeah, support
Yeah.
group. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. This is becoming too sad. I'm just kidding.
That's sad.
This is what we're supposed to be talking
No,
about.
you're in solution.
Yeah.
You're in solution. You're not you know you're trying to solve. This is all positive stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You have
That's true.
awareness, and you're
Yeah.
working on it, and becoming a better person through it all. Working on it. So
Yeah. Took me a minute. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, with the with the pressure of especially you talk about COVID and you talked about that you struggled with ADD when you are working at such a high level with on productions. You're talking about just Megadeth and especially with Alice Cooper for so long. Um, how do you handle just some of that mental stuff, like when you're on the road a lot, or because like you're definitely at like a really high level of this stuff. So I guess how often does that play a role in your mental health and how on point you have to be and kind of maybe put some of your own stuff aside sometimes?
Hmm. Well, I can only tell you that, like, at this point in my life, I just have a lot of experience in it. I've been going through. There's an up and down curve when you're on the road and off the road. You go from 100 miles an hour to 0 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that my whole life. And in the '80s, I remember, we'd have a show last night, and the next day we get dropped off somewhere, and I would be at the beach or something. And it's like literally that night, you're doing a show, so that adrenaline dump and all that. So these days I don't struggle with that stuff. I just have a lot of
Mhm.
experience with it, and sobriety is easier for me on the road than it is at home. So
Sure. Yeah.
for a lot of years recently,
Yeah.
it was when I got home from tour that I had drank some beer, and smoked some
Yeah.
weed. Um,
Just to
it
relax
was
a little bit, take the edge
uh,
off.
it's because there was nobody, because I didn't have any responsibility, and you're
Mhm.
left with some free time. and you also are going from that 100 miles an hour to zero. So like I get home from a however many weeks and walk in to my apartment or wherever I'm staying. It's just you, and
Yeah.
it was great. I don't know that's when um, on the road I find it a lot easier to be sober though.
Mm.
I just have there's structure there, and you're surrounded by people. And today there's a lot of sober people on the road. So on in my camp or
Yeah.
whoever I'm working with, there's generally a good handful of people that don't drink and that are in the program. Um, so the structure being work is my happy place. I love being.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like being off work. It's when I'm home that I don't have a structure and enough to do really. Um,
Yeah.
so tour has been where I've been and where it's easiest to stay sober. Um,
How about when you were kind of first starting, you were kind of getting to learn the ropes? Was there ever a point when there was kind of like a crash out or like a burnout kind of phase, or it just sounds like you were
um,
just thriving off of the adrenaline the entire time?
no, we were doing drugs every night. The only
Yeah.
difference is we were 40 years younger, and in my 20s, you could do drugs all night and still be up in the morning and go to work and be relatively unfazed or get through it and everything. And as you get older, that changes.
Mhm.
Um, God, definitely couldn't do it now. Um, So yeah, in those days, no, it was fucking nightmare sometimes. I mean,
Mm.
the torture that we put ourselves through. Yeah, see, I don't think ever then like alcohol, cocaine, and alcohol were intertwined. So I had like a three beer rule or I don't know. If I drank three Heinekens, I was gonna cop, and so what that was, like pretty every night. And on tour, it was also very acceptable on tour. Cocaine was, the coolest thing you could do in the 80s. You walked in a room and had cocaine laid out lines for everybody. It was like everybody was like, hey, it's not like today you might get kicked out of the place or something. But so it was just
Oh yeah, time has
younger. It was
changed a little
easier.
bit.
Times have changed a little bit. Even you'll get fired from a lot of camps doing coke. I know a guy who was fired in from his band. The production manager knew he was doing coke. It's like you're
I can't
not going to
imagine
be
how
going back.
many. Yeah, I can't imagine how many bands or I mean, just people in general felt the pressure of doing that stuff when it was, in the 80s, especially if you're in a rock band. I'm sure there was a lot of pressure to like fit in and kind of do it like everybody else was, I bet.
I don't know if it was pressure at all. It
No,
was just a
okay.
lifestyle. It
Yeah.
was just the
Oh,
lifestyle. It just simply was. They were just way different times. And it was
yeah.
like
Okay.
that's just what you did. That's just how every day. That was just getting up in the morning and putting your shoes on. And drugs were just a big part of
Yeah.
the cult. It was part of the culture.
Yeah.
It still is a little bit. I mean, like alcohol, weed definitely is part. Weed's a huge part of our culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cocaine, it's prevalent today. I see it funny, but not
Yeah.
just not like it was.
Yeah.
We used to
So,
do it. Yeah, I mean, drivers would do it for driving the trucks and buses. Um,
mhm.
Everybody would do it in the afternoon and through the night, and then you'd have a
Yeah.
party in your hotel room after show with 15 people from the show, and you party all night, and then you leave, and it was a culture.
Yeah.
It's what it was.
So speaking of culture, I mean that's the kind of stuff that you were growing up with when you kind of first got started. Looking at kind of how culture of music just in general has changed, just even in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like like from your experience, you've gone from zero social media to now musicians live on social media. They feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's all where it's at. How have you
Mm-hmm.
kind of like not really adapted to it, but how has that changed your musical journey and or has it?
So I love social media, first of all, but I think that you have to understand how to use social media. A lot of people don't use it correctly. For me, for instance, like Facebook is really a source of letting people know what you're doing and sort of keeping in touch with people. I'm not putting pictures of dogs or cat. I'm putting stupid shit on Facebook. For me, it's kind of just like it's work stuff mostly, and I do it carefully and kind of lightly. And people, it allows your circle, everybody. I mean, the majority of my Facebook might be industry people, so it's kind of a work thing for me. It lets people know what you're doing
Yeah. It's
to
important to
stay
keep those
on.
connections.
Mhm. to stay on
Yeah.
people's radar a little bit.
Right.
So, and we didn't have anything in the 80s. There was nothing, you know, it's like you have any groups or ways of keeping in touch with people like that. You had a phone, but so I think social media is a great thing if you use it properly. And for an artist, it's an amazing tool
Yeah.
um, if used properly.
Right.
So I don't spend all my time on social media looking at stupid fucking accounts either. I
Yeah.
use it for educational. My feed is primarily educational.
Yeah.
Um, in music, I also find a lot of new artists in social media. TikTok and Instagram are talent breaking grounds. An
Mhm.
artist starts getting popular and then it gets moved into your algorithm. I find new bands all the time. I like to stay pretty aware as I can in current music today. I don't ever want to be that person who says, I don't know who these new bands are. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people who are up on current music and who's popular and who's moving up the charts, who's charting on Billboard. But I want to know all that. I want to be in
Yeah.
the middle of all that. So it's a source of information for me, and it's educational. My feed is loaded with useful information. So
Yeah.
if used properly, that's how I see it anyway. I'm not playing games and watching stupid videos.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
feel about the rise of streaming platforms? Take away social media and just
Hmm.
like, there's a lot of bands now that are, looking at social media numbers. That's, they got this many followers, there's this many listens on Spotify. And not only are artists comparing themselves to big number of people on Spotify, but now everybody is having to deal with AI music and
Hmm.
AI artists. What's kind of your take on that? Growing up with, tapes and vinyl, like looking at, what it's kind of become today.
Well, the only thing I don't understand is why the industry let streaming happen without getting paid. I
Mhm.
don't understand why they let that happen. Music, everything became free, and we know it, you know. So I don't understand why the industry let that happen.
Yeah.
They weren't watching, and MP3s. I mean, I remember. I mean, Napster, and it was the year 2000, and files started getting shared, and this became a big thing. The similar thing has happened with feature film, though, too. They also failed to innovate and to come up with a system of their own to sort of disallow this from happening. But film's got the same problem. People don't go to movie theaters now because you can watch
Right.
this on Netflix is the streaming
Yeah.
platform. You're releasing a film. Those are the new movie theaters. Netflix. It's similar things. So a lot of money went away. Budgets are now made. Films are $10 or $20 million. The $200 million big blockbuster is hard to do. You don't have the movie theaters to move that tickets in. So records. So
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate that for whatever reason the industry somehow didn't have a grasp on this and wasn't able to maintain to shut down MP3 and control it in some way. I love iTunes and that's the one I subscribe to and all
Yeah,
my
me too.
music's on there. It's nine ninety
Yeah.
nine a month. I can listen to everything I want. I like it. Are artists getting paid from it like they should? No. So what's the answer? I don't know that either. It'll sort of streaming is starting to pay more right now. That those scales are starting to tip back in the artist's favor.
Mm.
So it's Tidal, Spotify, and Apple right now, pretty much. Music money is flowing back into music. I follow a shitload of stuff on the industry of managers, of people involved in the industry, the sources of revenue come from different places now, and product placement and endorsement deals, and
Yeah.
social media pays a lot of money. So it's not that money is not flowing in there. So the positive thing about social media for an artist, it's a talent breaking ground. You can go record a record and release it yourself. Some have been very successful at this, but you can put your band up on social media, and if it's great and people like it, you chart, you move up the algorithm, and you can get a record deal and get exposed. That's something that was never there before.
Yeah.
So again, if used properly, and like I said, I follow a lot of artists who I've been following since they had 1,000 followers or something that have gained tremendous amount of traction. I've watched their careers go up in social media. So I don't know, it's great. You know who does well in social media? Comedians.
They really do.
That's
I've
a breaking
noticed that
ground.
too.
I follow a lot of
Definitely.
comedians who I've watched their careers blow up.
Yeah. Yeah.
putting Instagram videos and comedy skits and things up that have led to careers. So
Yeah.
it's our
Yeah,
world is
that really
changing.
is
It's for,
interesting.
AI. I don't know why anybody's getting all so upset by it. It's here. It exists. Stop
Yeah, it's
fighting it.
right here.
Learn how to work with it. There's a great
Right.
interview I just saw yesterday
Mhm.
on it was a round, it was a meeting of music producers, big producers. They're doing all the pop records and all that. And one guy just said, before I even get started, I just want to get this out of the air. Every producer in the industry right now is using AI to create music. This is the guy. I'm in the studio every day. He's like in the Hollywood A&M, all the big studios. Every single producer in the industry is using AI for one thing or another to create a beat, to create a bass line, for a vocal, to come up with a melody. He laid out a few different ways it's being used. Everybody's using it. I don't know why AI is the enemy. It's
Mhm.
music. You still got to create it. Like my
Yeah.
challenge to you is, you're sitting there right now. Go create a fucking song that sells 100 million. Go create a song. Go do it. Use AI. Do whatever you want. Create a song that makes a million, sells a million copies. It's not fucking easy. You're not going to do it
Yeah,
just because you have AI. It's
that's
not
true.
not cheating to do it. You still have to create and come up with
Yeah.
this
That's
thing.
a new and refreshing take on AI because I feel like most artists and most people I've had on are really against it. So it's
Well,
refreshing to have that different perspective on it because I didn't really think about it in that way.
yeah, I think the only people that are against it are ones that don't understand it, and I would think that most people that are against it also aren't like tech savvy people in their lives.
Mm,
They're not probably using digital wallets. They're not into crypto. There's still a lot of people who are not in tech, and they're afraid of tech. And I know people that are. But AI is being used in film also, right? And you'll hear actors talking about, this is unacceptable. AI is going to replace our job. Who the fuck are you talking to? If I own a company and my job is to turn a profit for my shareholders, and I'm able to create a character through a new technological development that I don't have to pay $80 million in royalties to for the next 4 years or whatever it is,
true.
and I have a right to run a business and create a company and do that. Your job as an actor isn't going away, but some things are going to be done, are going to change and all that. That's,
Yeah.
accept it and work with it. It's not, you're not going to win any battle there.
Yeah. So not asking about any artist specifically, but when you're around big
Mm-hmm.
artists, what are you kind of hearing about what this discussion we're having right now? Do you feel on a big level within some of the camps you work with? Are people kind of viewing it differently? Are you seeing it sway one way? Like what's kind of the industry, in your opinion, standpoint on all this?
I don't hear much about it. It's not prevalent. Like
Oh, okay.
on my level in touring, I'm sure that all the people I'm working with, all the band members that have their side projects and side bands, probably are using AI in some way. Um, but it's not something that's invaded the industry in a way that it's affecting everybody right now. And for that matter, there's a lot of people in AI who are putting up posts saying things like, "It's here, it's happening quicker than anybody thought. Your job is going away," and all that. It's true on some level, but it doesn't require the panic that some people are trying to instill.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Adaptability. Not a lot of people want
Mhm.
to do.
Well,
Yeah.
there's fear of the future right now. That's a thing that exists that I think not everybody, but a lot of people. If you understand tech and you follow things that are happening right now in the world, not just in the world, there's wars going on. I mean, we have. I'm not going to get into politics, but we have. There's a lot that you could say. There's a lot of fear of the future right now, and put
There is.
AI on
There
there
is.
and where it's going to take people's jobs, how robot. Look, some guy just came back from China, and a tech executive in the U.S. He just came back. He said, "We're fucked. Like they're already like X number of years ahead of us. Their factories are fully automated. All these factories are automated. All their cars are electric. They have incredible electric cars. They're way ahead of us on that. They're just way ahead of us on certain areas. And anyway, it's
Yeah.
the future is going to change. Not everybody knows how it's going to change. So there's fear, especially among older adults who aren't tech savvy and understand necessarily how it's going to change. That's where there's a fear.
Yeah.
Young people, I don't think there's a fear. They're growing up in it. And they're all using AI. Look, I try and use it. I'm trying also to stay up on that curve as much as I can. I'm in it. I'm watching all the tech videos and blogs. I don't want to be left behind on anything. I don't want to ever be that person. When my
Yeah.
friend is sitting here saying, "Yeah, I started a company. I just built this app. Claude built me this app. I've got these two companies running. I'm making all this money." I don't want to be standing there going, "What the fuck? How did you do that?" Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do
Yeah.
that.
I usually ask the guests what advice would they probably give to someone coming up in the industry now, but I feel like you've kind of said quite a bit on staying updated to things, checking up on new artists and new technologies and following educational things on online if you're going to be on social media. Is that kind of the advice you would give, or is there kind of anything else for somebody who, let's just say, wants to do what you want to do?
No, well, look, I think this business you have to take it dead seriously.
Yeah.
It's not a place to clown around in. First of all, there's a lot of new people in the industry since the pandemic. A lot of people left. A lot of new people come in. I'm on the
Yeah.
road now all the time with people, and I think it didn't used to be that way. Like it took a while to get in the industry, and you had to get. You couldn't just walk in the industry and assume something. Now
Yeah.
it's not uncommon at all to be on a big tour and have like a person who's flying PA stage left be their first tour, and it could be like Metallica, and the
Sure.
person could have just gone through Claire and Lidditz and been put out on the road, and their first tour is Metallica.
Yeah.
Whereas like anybody who had been around a long time, that your first tour was in clubs, you worked up, it took 20 years to get to Metallica. So there's a lot of new people on the tour, and they're great. They're great workers. It's just a changing environment, but
Yeah.
it's just a fucking serious job. You have to be on time. It has to be your absolute priority. You just have to be dead spot on with everything you do. Be dedicated, pay attention, don't talk. The best thing I always hear someone say is read the room. That's something a lot of people aren't. So if you get on the bus at 2 in the afternoon and there's three people sitting there reading books and they're being quiet, don't get in, turn the TV up real loud and start making all kinds of fucking noise and disrupt. You just kind of always fit. I I'll just speak for myself. All I am is I always just want to fit in. I don't want to be noticed really anywhere. I want to be non-invasive in any camp I'm in. I want to be
Yeah.
non-invasive. I just want to do my job. Have no reason for anybody to come after me. I'm
Yeah.
not perfect at all that, but I want to be non-invasive. I want to be the quiet person who is 15 minutes early, that shows up and does his job, and nobody has to say anything to. And most people, are not everybody, but
Yeah.
so it's it's a serious industry, and today especially because there's so many. It's got like our industry got complicated with video wall, pyro, a lot of moving parts in a production today. It could be dangerous. You have to be on point, and you do have to understand all those elements a little bit, and you have to be great at working with people. And here's the thing: you're going to always there's going to be somebody you don't get along with. The best thing I can tell anybody is, it's having that reset button. Somebody's going to piss you off, and I'm going to go, that motherfucker, fuck this guy. But you can be angry for a second, but you got to let it go.
Hmm.
You can't hold on to stuff because you're going
Tough
to you,
skin.
you have to live with this person. Thick skin, 100%. But
Yeah.
the reset button to let go of drama, to let go of somebody made you upset or something from it. You can't hold on to anything. You're living on a bus with somebody.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable for both of you. So just being professional,
Yeah.
you know.
But so when it comes to the pyro and things that you work on and see, has there been any change in that kind of work with AI and new technologies or anything like
Um,
that?
well, so I'm not. I don't work. I'm not sitting in their seat. But what I observe is, I mean,
Yeah.
set design has changed a lot. Look, the future of live entertainment is what we're starting to see come out with like 3D video content, with time coded shows, with all of these incredible elements of lasers and productions. It's not just a band on a stage where it used to be a great band on a stage could pull off. Now there's a bar that's been set high, so your production value
Yeah.
has got to be pretty high, and people are paying big money to come see these shows. I look at what EDM music is doing right now. The video content, like these artists like Subtronics and
Yeah.
Anya. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. Have you seen his video content?
The name doesn't sound familiar.
Ayeyna or something. Anya is one of the biggest
Hmm.
EDM DJs right now. Wraparound video wall on his show. All of his video content is built into the song. Everything that's happening in the song is happening on his video wall. His content. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. So there's a show in Vegas. I think Millennium is something like that. So the
Okay.
Sphere, take the Sphere for instance. That's where the bar is being set for live productions. So what people are going to see isn't just the band on stage anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than
Yeah.
that. So
That is true. I
we,
never really thought about that. Like something
mhm.
so yeah, like the Sphere. And now you have all these other venues and be
Yeah,
like how do you compete with that? I haven't been to the Sphere yet, but when
I
I
haven't
move
either.
back over there, I definitely
Mhm.
plan on going.
Me too. But that's the
Yeah, but
bar. And
that's true.
so
I never
3D
thought
Real
about
Engine.
that.
Mhm. We're doing a show right now with Alice Cooper in Vegas with Chris Angel. This is a production,
Cool.
something that Chris came up with that we went in and did a test shoot last year, and it was really cool. We said we're going to do some shows. Well, Chris figured out a way. So his show is already illusions. He does illusions. Okay,
Yeah.
his theater is tricked out with pyro in the floors, 3D video wall, which is you just have to see it to understand it. Is through all this 3D content, this incredible lights and special effects, fog. His stage, there's high speed elevators that to do these illusions. So we came in, put an Alice Cooper show on the stage. He does these illusions in our show. It is an insane show. Everybody who leaves that show walks out going, "What did I just see?" And they come back for two
That
more
sounds
nights trying to
really
figure out.
cool.
Nobody's prepared
Huh.
for what because they don't. People don't understand. Like it's because Chris's theater is designed to make all this stuff work. So he does these incredible things, holds a sheet up, drops it, he's gone. There's a girl dancing there, and then they pull the sheet back up, she's gone, he's standing there. You were just going, what? How did that? And then all these things happen that you can't explain.
Yeah.
That's where entertainment is going to new production value heights.
Yeah, I feel like Alice Cooper has always been at that level. I remember the first time I saw Alice Cooper, and you were probably you were probably with him at that point. It was in 2012.
Mhm.
Yeah, 2012, and it was with Manson,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you guys played. It was on I forget the name of the theater, but like in Universal Studios in Burbank, like there used to be like a theater in there.
Well, there was Universal Amphitheater. We
Is
may have
that what
played
it was
Universal.
called?
Yeah, yeah, there was Universal Amphitheater. It's
Okay.
gone now, but
Yeah,
that
they
would have
took
been
it
Universal
down.
Amphitheater. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot. That was the first and only time I went to that venue, but that was an amazing show. I still have confetti from that show. That's the thing that I do. I save confetti, but I still have it from that show.
Well, check this out. That show is like an antique show compared to what we do now. Technology has changed so much since then. Like you would have seen, we probably had par cans in trusses on that show. It,
Yeah,
um,
the next time I saw you guys was at the Greek Theater,
mhm,
and it was probably at least like 5 or 6 years after that, or
mhm,
something around that. And yeah, that
mhm.
was bigger too. Yeah,
Now it's changed every year. We've
yeah.
implemented new technology, new lights. So at that time, lighting would have come in at 7 in the morning or something. Had to bolt together the truss, install lights on the truss, and then fly the truss out. And it would have been a lot of lights. Now it's not as many lights because the lights are much more capable of doing more things. One light can do the thing five lights used to be able to do, but now lights live inside the truss. Truss just comes out of the truck. maybe bolts together sections in the middle and goes up. Like I said, technology has changed so much. Probably half the labor to fly the light show right now that it did at that time.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
a lot of technology innovation in lighting over the years.
Yeah.
Fact,
A
yeah.
lot of change. Are you guys going to be in Arizona at all anytime soon in the next couple months or so?
In November, I believe.
Really? All right.
Yeah, come out. Yeah, definitely. Even might even be Chandler.
Oh, really?
Tempe or Chandler probably, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
there's something in November. We're on the West Coast, and there's an Arizona show in there.
You know, it's so funny. Like when we because we weren't planning for our child, and
Hmm.
we weren't ever
It's
wanting
cool.
to go to Arizona. We were actually going to go to
Hmm.
London next, and then so we found out, and it totally changed our lives for the better. I'm so
That's
excited.
amazing. Yeah,
But so the
absolutely.
family is out there, so now we're and I'm just like, man, like I'm going to be like I'm in the heart of Brooklyn right now, and I'm not going to be in LA. I'm not going to be in Vegas. I'm just like I was worried about like the
Hmm.
podcast and like going to shows and stuff. And then
Right.
I really started to dig into to the scene out there, and I'm just like all the big shows come out here. They also come out to Arizona. I was like, I don't know why I
Oh
was
yeah.
thinking Arizona was just a huge desert that no one went to.
Mm. No, no, it's a big market. It's a big rock
Yeah,
market, big
yeah,
rock
and I
market.
never
Yeah,
knew.
Arizona's. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it.
yeah. And if you see us out there, of course, reach out and come to a show
Yeah,
and
I'd love to. Yeah,
see
that'd
what
be
the
amazing.
current show is
Yeah, it's been a
more
minute.
technologically advanced, video content, lighting, and props, and yeah, it changes every 2 years to a new production, new
Yeah,
show, new set list, and all that. But also,
yeah,
what changes a lot isn't just that; it's what goes on stage. So instruments,
yeah.
like our entire show now is Kempers, so there's no live cabinets on stage.
Ah,
Years ago, that was a bunch of 412 cabinets and SVT cabinets or whatever. So
yeah,
Kempers allow you to do certain things. It's very clean. There's no stage volume. It's a consistent sound every night. More tones of different kinds. That's all kinds of technology in a modern show. The consoles that run the show, holy shit, that's loads of technology in there
yeah.
producing the audio that you hear out front of it. PA systems, the technology there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how your role specifically has that changed at all? Like, do you still feel like it's still pretty much what you do is what you've been doing for a while, or has there been a lot of different change in just like in teching?
Yeah, not too much for me. I mean, I still build
Yeah,
a drum kit every day and have those things to do. Heads change. Drums are kind of still drums. Maybe like our day has changed. Maybe I mean we do a line check every day, not necessarily a sound check once the show gets going, because the a digital file is pretty consistent every day. It's not like the band has to come in for sound checks. Is my world changed? Not that much. We don't use a lot of electronic playback, any actual playback in our show. It's a live show. You just send in clicks to the drummer and a few of the guys, and everyone's playing instruments. It's so yeah, the band is still the band. You know what's funny? Like there's if you go online right now, there's a site from an old company called Shoko, which was like originally like sort of like what Claire is today. It was a huge production company, audio company. All the big tours, Prince, Madonna, everybody. There were Shoko tours.
mm,
They put all these archives up on the website. I've been going through it the last couple of days. It's fucking fascinating. So you can go into Prince, Eric Clapton, Madonna, in 87, 86, 85, 87, 88 era, and somebody uploaded a lot of their documents, not just stage plus and input lists, but notes between Shoko and foreign promoters, advancing dates, tour manager, tour books, like the typewriters. He kind of, I was surprised to see some of it even in typed format that really was just coming around then. Um, but go look at all the show notes of their check-ins to hotels, checkouts, their day-to-day schedules. Nothing has really changed. Touring is the same as it
yeah,
was. All their notes, it's
that's cool.
hotel check-in, earliest check-in we could get was this. You have to be out by this. The bus is gonna be there in the morning. Blah blah blah. Like touring is kind of, in a sense, really not changed. You're playing this venue tonight. You're gonna load out. You're gonna be on a bus overnight to the next venue. You're gonna load in at 8 in the morning.
And
Give me a
all
day sheet.
this is something that AI will never be able to do.
Uh,
At least,
you
oh,
know,
I feel like you had a different. I'm talking about load in and traveling and touring and
no,
being there in person. Hmm.
no, because the things that'll change is eventually the buses will be driverless, the trucks will be driverless, and those labor costs will go down. Like that's already, uh, you know,
Yeah.
could be happening.
Yeah, we're
It'll
gonna
be
be in a
driverless
Black
stuff.
Mirror episode. We already are in a Black Mirror episode, Michael.
There's a lot happening. I mean, even just sitting here in LA sometimes watching all the Waymos go by and the little food carts and delivery and
Mm-hmm.
there's again, I love technology, so I love that all
Sure.
that shit. But I mean, I'm waiting for hotel rooms to be key. So you just go in and scan a code on your phone, and a key drops out of a box. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's archaic that you go to a front desk for 10 minutes. They sit there, type these. Oh, you're Mr. Miller, okay? And will you be needing and blah blah. Type. They type for 10
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
before they hand
yeah,
you a key. I'm like, just give me the key.
yeah.
It's the same thing renting a car. You should just go to a vending machine, scan the QR code on
There
your
you go.
phone, and a key drops down. But you got to stand there in a 45-minute line to talk to some guy
Yeah,
for 20 minutes typing in a computer to hand you the key. It
yeah.
makes no sense. I live in Airbnbs, by the way. That's how I don't keep a place in LA. I live in Airbnbs. There, I just have an app. I don't get a key or anything. I just go walk in the door. That's
Yeah,
already, that's somebody's house. Why is a
yeah.
hotel room so difficult? And don't even
Sure.
start on the checkout process. Try checking out of a hotel room. You stay there, you go down at the end of the day, check in, you got to pay your incidentals. They don't even know where the incidentals are half the time.
Hmm.
They show you a piece of paper that says you owe $264. Like, what's the break? Where's the breakdown of what I spent here? They have 4 restaurants in the hotel that don't communicate. They just give you a number. You want to say, like, you can't even tell me what I spent here, and then you're going to get some of it wrong. They're going to charge you for some bottle of wine you didn't have or something you didn't take out of the
Yeah.
mini fridge. It's a 10-minute process to check out of a hotel room. I don't get it. Should be simple. But that's true with everything. I go
Sure,
to
sure,
Starbucks
sure.
in the morning to get a cup of coffee. They type for like 3 or 4 minutes and they're like, what are you fucking typing? There should be one button that says coffee. The next to it, small, medium, or large. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
How come?
I love that. Yeah, I agree
It's
with
true
you.
though.
I
I go to
agree
Whole
with
Foods.
you.
I get the same smoothie every day at Whole
Yeah.
Foods. It's one on their menu. They have 6 smoothies on their menu. I get the same one. I go in there. She's typing for like 5 minutes with all this stuff.
You're just
She just used.
you're just
Yeah,
like fuck off.
I yeah, that stuff drives me.
Just give me that.
It could be so easier.
It could be. I agree with you. Um so one final question for you.
Mm.
Putting aside the big artists that you work for and all the music you're hearing live all the time from different artists, putting that all aside from that, when it just comes to Michael and like doing regular running errands or like just relaxing or just anything outside of work, what has music meant for you in your mental health throughout this journey of just life?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's been a stable thing in my life. So you know what? Like right now, I listen to a lot of what do you call it? Um, it's not dubstep, but
I don't
I
know.
don't know
That
what genre
genre
it
I
is.
am
It's
not I'm
very
not too familiar
relaxing.
with. Okay.
Yeah, it's beats. It's not EDM. It's like easy listening EDM.
Okay.
I listen to a lot. That's just very soothing, and it has a lot of low end frequencies and beats, but it's very soothing. But I mean, music has always been a special thing to me all my life. I mean, it is, if I go back and listen to 70s music, every song takes you back to where you were the first time you heard it.
Yeah.
Music transports you to a different place. I'll tell you, like, music has never changed me. Film, I lost interest in. TV, I lost interest in a lot of stuff that I don't. Music is still a consistent thing in my life. My first concert was in 1977 was Kiss in Washington, D.C.
Oh yeah.
The big theatrical rock show with fire and
Mm,
it was Kiss in 1977. That
yeah.
was my first, but music of all genres is important to me. So I don't know.
Well, my
It's
first
always
concert,
on. It's always on. I always listen to that.
my first concert was Hanson, so I think I beat you.
That's fine. That's you.
Mine was better. Mine was better. I was rocking out
I
with
remember
Umbop.
Hanson well. I remember it well.
I actually still really like them. I was not trying to cut you off. I just wanted to show
No,
you that I have one up on you for first
yep,
shows. But no,
no,
no, no. Yeah, what music's meant to you in your journey?
yeah. I don't know. I think music is healing.
It is.
I did something the other night with a type of therapy with somebody, and they did sound bath. It was in my house. They did sound bath work, and so it was that with a I don't even know what the things were, but they were creating low end over me. It was healing sound music. So I mean, music is healing. That nobody would argue that.
Yeah, no.
What it means, you know, it's always on. I never not have music on, and I love hearing new music, and I'm really into new music.
Yeah.
I'm really into all these new bands I'm hearing. There's a lot of great rock and roll out there right now. There's a lot of cool, interesting artists.
Yeah,
It
I
really is.
agree. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like music has just shaped your life, and it's kind of it's what you know.
I wouldn't be here. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
what I'd be doing if it didn't. It
yeah. I was
grabbed
gonna,
me at a young
yeah,
age.
I
It
was
really
gonna
took me in.
say where. What else do you think that you would want to do? Probably nothing else, huh?
And I think it's the coolest thing in the world. Like,
Right.
so
Right.
four guys on stage playing instruments, making these songs, performing them is art in its most infinite, finest, greatest play. I mean,
Yeah.
art takes all kinds of shapes. You can create art and be creative and do all this stuff, but music is alive because that song is burning like a timeline over 3.5 minutes, being produced in the very second, in the very moment you're in,
Hmm.
by humans in their interpretation of how these sounds should be, and music is alive. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm still as fascinated today by a band as I was when I was a kid. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I love I love all things about it. I think music's the greatest thing in the world.
I think so too. The power of music
The power of music,
does a lot for
and
you.
yeah, for everybody. You know what's happening right now? There's a trend in EDM. These big EDM festivals that you see, and all these DJs. There's a trend that older people, 50s, 40 to 60, 40 or 50 something, are all gravitating very much to EDM music, going to these raves.
Really?
And and there's some science out about music. The raves are a lot of low end frequency, and the sort of build ups, and it's healthy. It's good for the brain. It's rejuvenating for the
Mm.
brain. And there's 431 or whatever hertz that's a popular. Uh, but EDM, it's older people. It's not kids going to see all these EDM shows. There's a segment of 50, 60, some that are gravitating heavily towards EDM right now, and it
You
makes you feel young again. It's a It's dance. Dance is a free spirited, feel good
in a
thing.
judgment-free zone, which is most of those shows.
That's right. That's very right.
Yeah.
So these 50, 60-year-olds are going to, you feel good. It's a great feel good event.
And you got the
And it
kids
turns out,
dancing with them. Like they'll
and
see you and be like, "Yeah, you're here with us. Come join us."
that's
I
something that's happening right now. Yeah.
last year I was I forget the job role. I was working EDC,
Oh yeah.
and I'm kind
In
of just
Vegas.
like behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, in Vegas, just some behind the scenes stuff. And I remember specifically, and now it clicks. I remember EDC, and I never expected like an older crowd to be there, but
Hmm.
there was a
Hmm.
lot more of an older crowd than expected. There wasn't like a ton, but more than I expected. So yeah, that makes yeah. I
I'm
saw
telling
that.
you.
I saw
I'm
that at
telling you.
EDC last
Yeah.
year in Vegas
Yeah.
at 1 o'clock in the morning.
There's people I'm following on social media reporting on this they're writing stories about it. And yeah, it's the thing.
I'm gonna look more into that. That's interesting.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and just turns
Well,
out to be very healthy for
yeah,
you. It's a great, free, young, free spirited thing you can do. And yeah, so
yeah. Yeah, I was never a dancer or anything like that. I never liked any of that until I met
right,
my wife and she's a DJ and like
all right,
listens to all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, I can get it now. I can get with it now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was able to bring her out to EDC too, so it was a wild weekend. It was a lot of
perfect.
fun. A lot of
Yeah,
fun.
we just missed it. We were in and out of Vegas, and it went on during one of our breaks. But I mean, it's massive. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
half a million people or something.
something like that. It
Hmm.
was a wild job.
But they're
I'll
happening.
probably never do it again, but it was fun for the time. It was it was fun at the
Those
time.
festivals are happening on a broader scale all over the country, all over the world, not just
Yeah.
on festival grounds. Like I live, we're near the Coachella Valley. There's a lot of, I mean, you have Coachella, but there are these festivals and now mainstream tours all over the country. Subtronics is a big one right now. He's selling out, I don't know, 1 or 2 nights in a row at all the Red Rocks type places.
Mm,
Subtronics, these are amphitheater tours. There's a fair amount of it.
yeah.
It's a growing huge genre right now. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some of your stories and
mhm.
insights. I feel that with veterans who come in and share advice and talking about their time in it and what they think about now, and kind of just talking about everything in the middle and getting a
Mm.
wide variety and wide different mindset of like how things could actually work and what it actually does take behind the scenes. Alice Cooper is one thing, but who's part of that crew behind that keeps Alice going?
Mm.
And and a lot of people ask how to get in there, and then get in, and it's not really quite what they expected. It's not always glamorous on the other end of it. There's a lot
Well,
of
you know
tough
what?
times too.
You either gravitate toward it, it calls you, you get into it, and you love it, or you don't. It's you love it.
Yeah.
It's like Los Angeles. People love it or they
Yeah.
hate it.
Right.
But if you it resonates with you and you love it, it's never going to leave. You're in. You're a lifer. But
Yeah. Is there anything you want to plug? Is there any projects you're doing, any shows that you're going to be on, anything you want to plug to help promote here?
no, man, I'm not. I'm in we're in the height of touring season right now. This is the busy time of the year. So,
Yeah.
Alice, we're starting next. It's Hollywood Vampires. It's Alice's other project with Joe
Yeah.
Perry and Johnny Depp.
Love the vampires.
We start that tomorrow actually, and
Oh, cool.
rehearsals, and so that goes on for about 6 weeks, and then
Oh,
back
are you
to
guys coming out here by any chance?
all in Europe.
Oh, in Europe.
Hmm.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The band it's all in Europe for now anyway.
Okay.
But
Cool. I
yeah,
gotta
just
go
great.
to I gotta get to Europe to go see one of those shows then.
Yes, you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a fun show. So
Yeah.
and no, I'm just I'm a happy guy working, living my life. Where we do that back into Alice. It's been a busy year, and I'm just always grateful for all the work.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
I live to
That's the
work.
way to go about it. Being grateful and just taking each one of these opportunities that you're given
Hmm. Hmm.
as a blessing, we'll call it.
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky,
Yeah.
fortunate. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's been great talking to you, and I
Yeah.
love your channel. I love the
Thank you.
interviews and the wide variety of people that you've had on. You've had a
Yeah.
good different segments of the industry in. And that's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Chiropractors,
Yeah.
drum techs,
Hmm.
guitar techs, therapist. I'm
Yeah.
doing it all, man. I mean, rock and roll
Right.
saved my life, and the only thing, the best way that I can give back is just sharing how special this community is. Because I
It
think it
is
does it.
special.
I don't think a lot of people understand that if you're not in it, and so if we can get people listening to stories from everybody, I think it
You
could
know what?
change something a little bit.
I hear from a lot of people, like if I have guests come out to shows or people that aren't in the industry that come in and they step into your world for a minute. But I always hear from people, they always talk about how nice everybody is. People always gonna make like, oh man, everybody was, but they go like to a metal show, they expect everybody to be like,
Right?
"Ugh,"
Yeah.
and they come out going, man, those are the nicest, and they get to meet the band or something. They go, man, those are the nicest people. And I say,
Yeah.
metal is like one of the nicest segments of the industry. The whole
Yeah.
industry
I
is, but
agree.
that's what everybody comes out of it saying. How
Yeah.
so that's a kind of a cool thing because our culture and our industry is very special,
Yeah.
and it's made up of special people, of great incredible people.
Absolutely. I would so the when the podcast started, it was all that I was doing. And so I would say about 90% of it is still that. But what I do mostly is I'll bring a band on and I'll have them choose a song that they wrote with a
Mm,
story that means a lot
mhm.
to them. And we will listen to it together and we'll read the lyrics together. And
Right.
I tell the artist, what were you going through when you wrote this? Like, what is the story behind it? And then we talk about it and how the music can relate to, oh, this line can relate to addiction or, ADD or whatever, depression. Like this one line that you wrote that had nothing to do with this can actually be looked at like four or five different ways. And so we just break
Um,
down the songs and the lyrics, and um, you really get into the mind of these metalheads who are screaming. And if you read the lyrics, might have a different perspective. That's my
I
goal.
think that's what makes. I think that's what it all is, though. Like the greatest lyrics come from the most pain.
Yeah.
People. There's that old saying, like somebody who's young and writes all these great songs, and later in life, when they make all this money and have, they kind of don't have the fuel that brought those songs about may not be there anymore because life is good and they got money and they're not suffering. And like all the greatest music comes from, you know, uh, I don't know, turmoil. I mean, that's some of the
Yeah.
best. I was just talking to somebody the other day. There was a band, and I forget who it is, but I said, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, "Well, our band member's wife just died, or we one guy quit, another guy's son was in a car accident.
Mm.
All this trauma happened to that band." And he looked at me and he said, "They're in the studio. They're probably gonna write a great record."
Yeah.
Which they're, the next record's gonna be. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So lyrics, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Rock and roll is the place where we can angrily get our aggression out in a positive way.
Healthy vent.
We
Yep.
all have to. We all have that side of us. As much as people like to try to tame it down, we
Hmm.
gotta let it out somehow, man. And the best way to do it is through music and lyrics that can also help other people. There's
Yeah.
nothing better than that.
The pit at a metal show. How much aggression is getting healthy aggression is getting
Yeah.
relieved right there.
Yeah.
Wall of death. Um,
Well, I just saw Slaughter to Prevail a couple months ago, so I'm just like, whenever I think of the pit now, I'm like, I haven't been in a pit like that in a long time.
I watch it almost every night somewhere.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Michael, when you see my friend Alice Cooper, make sure you say Heavy Mental says hi and nothing but the best luck on the tour you guys are doing, and hopefully I'll see you in November in Arizona.
I hope so. Yeah, please come out
Yeah.
and we'll stay in touch. And thanks again. Great talking to you.
Yeah, you too.